Football Sunday on Tyrod Taylor at the moment and says he's focused on Pittsburgh after losing to the Raiders. Taylor has $27.5 million option for 2017 and is 13-12 as a starter in the NFL. Do you agree here with the Bills considering moving on from Tyrod Taylor, Stephen A?
No, I don't. And that's not to say that I don't agree with them definitively. Oh, we got to hold on to Tyrod Taylor. I think that decision should be made after they make the big decision they need to make, and that's about Rex Ryan. Why is this man still a head coach? The fact of the matter is that the Buffalo Bills, or shall I say when the Buffalo Bills, miss yet another playoff appearance, it will be 6 consecutive years that Rex Ryan has been a head coach in the NFL and has not made the playoffs. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm missing something. I thought America was about a meritocracy. I thought America was about production. I thought America was about results. I didn't know it was about your hairdo, you know what I'm saying, the bravado, or stealing headline. I know the owners can get away with that because they cut the check, but those who cash the checks are required to produce results. Except when you're the Fishers and the Rex Ryans of the world. Not that Rex Ryan deserves to be compared to Fisher, because Fisher's in a whole nother category by himself. But I'm just saying, talk to me about Tyrod Taylor once you get a coach up in there that knows something about offense and he decides he wants to go in a different direction. Don't talk to me about this now.
Tyrod Taylor right now.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing about Tyrod Taylor, and I think you could say the same thing about Brock Osweiler, Geno Smith, a whole bunch of young quarterbacks who at one point or another you thought were promising. Mark Sanchez, it was the same thing once upon a time. At a certain point, you got a pretty good sense of what you got, and whether that is a guy who might win you a Super Bowl or not one day. And I hate to say it because I felt differently, halfway through last season. But looking at Tyrod Taylor this year, I think not. And I think at a certain point, you got the quicker you make that decision, if you think you've had enough evidence and find someone who can, don't overpay for the guy you think can't, just to act as a tackling dummy in the meantime. You can get picks in later on in the draft. You might get a veteran quarterback in the meantime and put those financial resources into other parts of your team so that when you find that guy, you slip him in there and you're ready to go.
My question is, if you get rid of him, who are you going to bring in? That's always, we're always quick to dismiss the quarterback or dismiss the player, but who are you going to bring in that you feel like is going to be viable, who is going to be an upgrade? Listen, when I look at Tyrod Taylor, there are two different types of quarterbacks in the NFL. There are the elite of the elite, like Tom Brady, guy who can turn average players into better than average players. And then there's guys that you have to build around in order to get to where you want to go. Tyrod Taylor's in the latter. He's one of the guys. I don't think he's ever going to be elite, but he's a guy that can win. You can win a championship with. He's a guy.
You think so?
Yes, I think if you build the team around him, put the players around him, I think you have a shot to be able to win. With that being said, also, he hasn't had his two primary weapons for most of the year.
Well,
he hasn't had Robert Woods and Sammy Watkins for most of the year.
4 games for Sammy Watkins. I forgot how many Sammy Woods. And Percy Harvin, who you brought on, only played 1 game for you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, this guy he's not an elite quarterback. He never will be. And then you take the fact that you're taking away primary targets away in the passing game. Right. I mean, how do we have these expectations on Tyrod Taylor to think that he's supposed to be this top tier quarterback?
I appreciate your response there, but I'm still not pleased. I hear all that. So how you feel about Rex? I ain't hear you bring up Rex. Why not?
Well, I'm gonna bring it up right now.
Wait, go ahead. I'm waiting, Damien. I'm waiting. That's right.
Are you
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
I
told you I'm not scared of you, man. I'm telling you, answer the question.
Listen, here's the deal. Here's the deal with Rex, okay? We have never known Rex to develop a quarterback. We've never known Rex to really care about offense. We've known him to ground and pound and play defense. Mm-hmm. And the defensive part is that I don't ever see Rex being able to develop a quarterback.
So do you agree with what I said about, let's not talk about Tyrod Taylor, let's talk about Rex Ryan. Why should he be there if he's approaching 6 years without making
you already said it. You talk about results.
Why can't you say you agree with me? Why can't you say you agree?
No, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that.
What's hard?
We always talk about results, right?
Yes.
When you mentioned that. The man has missed six playoff chances in a row as a head coach.
That's right.
Jets, Bills. At some point, that's who you are.
Okay.
That's who you are as a head coach.
So you do agree.
So
You are who
Just don't
your
want to
record
admit.
says
you are who your record says.
Okay.
There you go, Marley.
Let's
Right.
leave it there.
You're right.
AFC East, you ain't going to get to the playoffs as much as in other divisions. It's the way it goes.
Damien, I appreciate you.
I just
Keep doing
appreciate
those
y'all
Facebook
both
Live
confessing
posts,
that you agree with me. I know it's hard. You see what I'm saying? I know it's
Wait,
hard.
got
You know?
Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you, Max.
I know.
Our next guest called it the worst performance he has seen from any team this year when the Jets got demolished by the Colts on Monday Night Football, losing 41-10. We also discussed earlier how Doug Peterson called his team out for not playing hard after the Eagles lost to the Bengals. Damien Woody in the house with his crispy line. How we doing, my friend?
You took the words right out of my mouth, Molly. Chris.
Looking good. Looking
What's up, my
good.
man?
What's up with
Good?
you, boy?
That's a straight
Everything
razor,
good?
right? You went with the straight razor with the alcohol and everything, like yesterday, I would say.
Man, it's laser sharp.
Yeah.
It's laser sharp. Yeah. What's the deal?
That was real bad last night.
Yeah,
That was real bad.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it was.
Damien, how do you know when a football team's quit?
Wow. Well, first of all, go ahead.
Let me,
Yeah.
The reason why it's important that we ask you that question is because, just for the purposes of this, we're watching other shows. Like Ryan Clark was on Mike and Mike this morning, talking about how he has a problem when folks say you quit, because a lot of times he sees effort out there. People just ain't effective or efficient, which is why we want to know, what is quitting? Define to us how you can see it. What did you see last night?
For me, first of all, let me say, as a former player, one of the last things you want to do is really question other player and say that they quit.
Right.
But with that being said, what I saw on TV last night, and particularly I look on the defensive side of football, because defense is usually defined by hustle. You know what I mean? Like guys sprinting to the football, getting after it. What I saw from the Jets last night on the defensive side of football, it was probably the worst effort that I've seen from any team all year. I mean, take for instance the Jets defensive line. Now, coming to the season, that was supposed to be the strength of the team. They got a bunch of guys who are, star name players going against the Indianapolis Colts offensive line, which is the weakness of their team. Andrew Luck had all day to throw back there last night. All day. And when you look at the Colts offensive line, they got a rookie at center. They got a rookie at right tackle. A second year right guard. I mean, this is a unit that's been bad. So you would have thought going in, okay, this is a matchup that the Jets should just dominate and get after Andrew Luck. Didn't see any of it. Nothing. Guys weren't even registering on a stat sheet last night from the defensive line. Then when you look at Andrew Luck throwing passes all over it, guys were just busting coverages, guys running wide open. I didn't see anybody like angry, pissed off, or any of that.
I totally agree,
from the
Danny.
defensive side of football.
I think I could take it a step further and tell me what you think of this. What I'm thinking is, I can't readily recall another nationally televised game in any sport where I saw a team quit to that extent. Like, I think if someone said, what's the, a short list of the quittingest team you ever saw, that's on it. Like you said this year, but when was the last time you saw it to that level where it's like, can you guys try a little bit? There was no effort.
Yeah, and the thing that disappoints me is, you just look at last week when they played New England. I mean, they took New England to the brink last week.
So
and to come back this week on national television and to put out that type of performance, to me, it speaks to the character of the team. Because you shouldn't have that type of effort displayed on national television. Listen, your resume is being put out there every single time you step between the white lines. 31 other teams are going to look at that tape, look at your effort. That's your signature. That's your moment. And to put that out there, come on, man. That's
Let me say a
ridiculous.
couple of things, and I'm just going to go here. First of all, I'm a diehard Yankee fan. One of the things that I love most was George Steinbrenner. I used to love when you'd see him in a suite and somebody made a mistake and he was ready to raise holy hell. Yeah, he might have overreacted. He might have been too much, but it was clear if you're going to wear his uniform and play for his franchise, the last thing in the world that man had better ever question about you is your effort. It better not happen. And that's what I always appreciated and loved about George Steinbrenner. If I were Woody Johnson, not that this is plausible because there's a union, there's a players association, This is one of those rare moments I believe the owner would have been justified in walking into the locker room trying to withhold dudes' checks. This is one of those moments. That's how bad it was in that first half yesterday. I could not believe how I saw guys literally, am I lying, walk into the end zone. Like, walk. And guys not even come at them. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then I'm going to go here. Look, man, this is more applicable to college football than the NFL. But there's only 5 black coaches in the NFL. And we look at the big-time college football, we don't see too many, of African Americans in these positions. And Max and Molly, and he'll know where I'm going here with this, the opportunities are so scarce. You cannot have a black coach and the effort of the players is being questioned. Because everybody ain't Jeff Fisher, especially the brothers. And you ain't getting that kind of latitude and leeway. You mess that up, that's the kind of stuff that cost you the most, because what the owners don't say quietly, but all the African American coaches fully understand this, is that when it comes to young men, a sport like basketball, a sport like football, where you have predominantly African Americans playing the sport, when you don't perform, that's one thing. But when your effort is questioned, it's a direct assault on the coach, because they look at that coach and they say, you can't control these dudes. They can't even go out there and fight for you. What I need you for? That's what happens. And that's why you can question efficiency. You can question game planning and schemes and all of this other stuff. But when you are a black coach and the effort of the players are being questioned, it is the ultimate death knell. And those players know it. And to go out there and perform like that last night is just so shameful. I can't even say anything else.
As a former member of the Jets,
did I say anything wrong, by the way?
No.
All right.
I mean, is there something with the organization? I always say a fish rots from the head down. And the Jets seem to me, as a Giants fan, I'm always laughing at them. It's always like a dysfunctional organization. When I had my Jets fans' friends, and when they have kids, I'm like, why would you do that to the kid? Why don't you just raise him a Giants fan? Be happy.
I asked my boy Jeff. You know our boy Jeff, y'all met. I got one of my best friends, Jeff Brown, in L.A. Listen, he's one of the best people I know in my life, man. One of my best boys from high school in Queens, New York. Man, what he does to my godchildren is shameful. He's got them as Jets fans and Mets fans.
Right.
How bad can he be? I tell this to Jeff all the time, my godson Nicholas, man. To subject my godson to this, to being a Jets fan.
And sign him to a life of
misery.
But
I gave a pass once Bowles was there, but now.
So is there something about the organization that leads to this level of dysfunction?
I always say everything starts at the top and works its way on down. I mean, you look at all the really good organizations, what do they all have in common? They're strong at the top, and the message resonates on down.
I feel bad for Todd Bowles that this is his shot at head coaching with the Jets. I feel bad for him.
Gotta leave it there.